when everything is silent. The silence of dreams, the counting of the soulless sheep. Vivid, yet dulled, colors of purple, tinged green with a moment of spectacular momentum, but yet broken by a single moment of daylight. Our dreams are what transport and inspire us, but reality yet set in. For what can only amount to a second or two of disillusion. I am inevitable.
I never said you weren't. I am merely waiting to delay the end, for just a while longer. You see, I am in the process of handing over the reins to someone a bit more qualified for the position than myself. And I would hate for the process to be interrupted by the combination. You understand my issue?
In a sense. There seems to be a bit of confusion that you think I would allow such a lengthy delay in your departure, nor would I allow the continuation of a poor soul's repeated resurrection for the sake of your oversimplified enjoyment.
Ah, so you wish to continue with your own ancient ways. As always, you never did seem to grasp the major contributions of my way of looking at things, but then again, everything has its place in time. And never fretting of the overall impact of our own choices in the matter of which you, as an outsider, as merely concerned as you might not seem, you are surely taking a more direct approach. By merely having this conversation, you are breaking the oath you took when first created.
I do not break any oath. I merely state what needs to be stated. There is only so much concentration of soul, nay, any being of conscious construct can speak of, on any subject, moving, sentient, or otherwise, to the point where a break is needed. Such obligatory narration is only required when the actors in the play seem to make their own lines, that are, sometimes, as chaotic and unstructured as they could make themselves out to be.
You could be more careless.
And you could be a bit more caring. By resuming this torture, you are only setting yourself up for failure, not from over-planning for an infinite amount of circumstances, but by under-planning for the one instance by which you glossed over, fanning the flaming river of unpredictability with the construct of your sad, bloated ego.
Ah, you seem so assured of my self-deemed destruction that you make the obvious leap of faith that humanity, as a whole, can, by some miracle of coincidence, crash down upon the right number of small incidents needed to kick my dissolution into a higher actuality.
I am inevitable. And so are you. The mind of the agent wanders, and so still, the journey of our protagonist seems all but clear, a sign of the possible destruction to follow, or merely the consequence of an action as yet untaken? The path is never clear, always becoming foggier by the ever-present, and the changing of the future with ever the slightest motion. But, to fear the unknown, is to be as afraid of the blinking of starlight, an irrational fear, possibly brought on by the succinct and deliberate possibility of time simply moving forward. Though not one to be a present guard, nor catch a thief in the night of the fullest sun, the watcher simply reports that which is observed, meaning only to ever state that which can be obtuse to the everyman. I am inevitable.
What did the doctor say?
They told me it was breast cancer, stage 3.
I'm sorry to hear that. You've been going through a lot these past few weeks. How's your husband taking the news?
I think he's checked out, to be honest. There was a moment where everything seemed fine, and then he just walked out of the room, like there was nothing else to be done. As if he had any control of the situation. As if I wanted this to happen. Why? Why me? I feel as though all the time I had left was just stolen away from me. Like my whole life of achievements was just stolen away. Isa, do you have any clue what that feels like?
There are plenty of treatments available, and yes, you have every right to be angry at the situation for what it is, but never forget, you are in control of the situation.
How so? That's right. It's merely within the context of understanding. Science has come a long way, and chemo and radiation treatments can always knock that cancer right the hell out.
Very true. Maybe this could be one of those moments? One of those moments in time that could evolve into something more?
Yes. Wait, what are you talking about?
One of the many moments, or maybe the first in a series of events, scaled down to the infinite, but randomized in the way they occur. Lisa, I must tell you something. something that I failed to mention when we first met. I fear that you might dislike me for this.
No, I won't dislike you for it. We've only known each other for a few months, and you've never been one to talk about yourself at length. So, naturally, anything new would be rather fascinating to me.
Are you sure? It's just that I've been here before. This very moment, this very room, these words, this conversation, every aspect of my life is almost as exact as before, down to the very memories I hold of every stage of my life. For you though, it would seem as though everything were happening for the very first time. Are you still sure you wish to continue?
It wouldn't be the craziest thing I've been told. We live in an era of unexplored territory, where various schools of thought exist at the utmost apex of human understanding. People believe that we are simply constructs given sentence, forever repeating the same actions inside a limited simulation, guided by unseen hands. While others seem to think that there is very little point in trying to make a difference in their own lives, because they are simply destined to fail at the first sign of success. But I believe that we are here for a reason, whether through a higher power, or through some kind of random happenstance. Why should I try to put it into some kind of forced perspective, especially when I could, by my own very nature, simply learn to enjoy the surprise of every moment?
I see your point. There is very little use trying to explain away every little detail, every nuance, when I could very well just let the life I've previously lived take me by surprise. You know, I've done this so many times, that I think I just became jaded and mentally reclusive to the point where the only way I could entertain myself was to simply wax poetic about the very nature of the universe.
You must have had a very interesting out-of-body experience.
Honestly, I was always in some kind of broken, angry village that was just slightly on fire, and arguing with the devil about various things. It's kind of boring after the 76,987th time around. Usually it's just bickering, empty threats, and half-burnt scones covered in dirt and horse crap.
We will turn our attention to a much-needed break in the obtuse, turning our sights towards a duo who are, in their own way, committing to play roles in a much larger game. These two, Jack and Lawrence, will gradually come to terms with the chaotic nature of the universe. Jack, having already conversed with Isa and forming a mutual bond, has a strange, but strong, friendship with Lawrence, who will, in his own way, come into contact with the agent. I, too, will play a part in this cycle of events. In what ways must still be meted out as the days come into focus among the twisting gravitational tug-of-war between the intent of the agent and the end goals of Isa. Until then, let this act as a much-needed moment of brevity.
You are such an idiot. Why would you bring that?
I don't understand. What did I bring this time that freaked you out so bad?
Apparently, you brought a goddamn jar of spiders along for the plane trip. Who does that? Who does that?
You do. Your brother does? If I'm not mistaken, your dad does as well, and I'm not even counting the numerous times we went to Comic-Con and you friggin' dressed up as a spider.
Wait, you're bringing my family into this? You do realize that they study spiders. The men in my family have always been scientists specializing in arachnids. And I was dressed as Spider-Man for crap's sake.
Yeah, who does that?
Everyone. Literally everyone dresses up as Spider-Man at some point in their lives. It's just a matter of when you do it. Some people dress up as him for Halloween.
I don't.
Good for you. I'm sure that everyone in your family hated you for not having any interest in superheroes when you were a kid. I can just imagine them now. There goes Jack. Did you crap in his Wheaties this morning and kill his childhood?
Can you hurry the hell up? I've got a plane to catch.
You shut the fuck up.
No.
You. Go. Now.
Okay. You had to slap him?
Yes, there's something inherently great. That feeling of being in control while people seemingly expect you to just roll with the punches. It's aggravating as all hell, but when you finally do experience that sense of elation, you get to where you're starting to go. Do you understand?
No.
Well, I can't help that. Can I ask why we're heading to the office?
There's someone I need you to talk to. We met at a park a few days ago, and to be honest, he has one hell of a story.
This isn't going to be like that time at Disneyland, right?
Nom.
Tell me the truth.
Alright. Look, this is going to sound kind of strange, but the guy just showed up out of nowhere, like, I blinked. And boom. He was there. I think he might have been talking about a combination to do something. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it seemed like he was really trying to dig deep, as if he'd been put on this crazy-ass roller coaster, but he couldn't get off.
A combination? Like, to a lock?
I don't know, he seemed pretty out of it by the time we were done talking. Anyways, I need to hit the restroom after that. You want to grab some lunch?
Sure.
Another step into the continuum for Isa, the event set in motion seemingly so long ago, now coming into play, as the agent watches with great weight and burden placed upon his shoulders, from his hidden realm, he plans and plots. Dip, meanwhile, is tucked away in the depths of his home office, rifling through old files, stories, and videos, trying to find any and all interviews, his attempts at finding any hint at the correct combination proving to be a fruitless effort. So the pieces on the board move of their own accord. A strategy of chaos and negligence of mishandled information strengthens the bonds between every soul involved. And yet, the time for brevity, comedic relief, has arrived, stayed its welcome, and left before you, the unintentional participant of this macabre. Make your own choices. I leave you now with one message oft repeated, losing only its will to bend its own willpower around that of the sun. I am inevitable.
Gabriel, how long have we been colleagues?
Why do you ask?
Because I want your help on a project I'm working on. I have a feeling that you'll really be interested.
Are you trying to flirt with me?
By flirting, do you mean trying to figure out the combination?
What? That? I swear, ever since we brought Isa on last week, you've been acting weird. Isa mentions a combination while doing a park segment, and you run off set as if it's become the most important thing in the world. What exactly is going on with you? We've worked together for the past 12 years, Dip, and suddenly, without reason, you lose your goddamn mind.
Look, what I do in my spare time is my own business, goddammit. It speaks to me. You remember back when there were a bunch of these reports going around about how sound, or certain words just clicked with you on a genetic level and just sent you on a journey?
You mean drugs?
No, not drugs. Just spoken words. Words spoken in a particular order that just will you to do something. Something you didn't know about before. But now, it's all you can really think about.
I'm worried about you, Dip.
Look, Gabby. There's nothing to be worried about. We've been married for 25 years, haven't we? All I need is you, and you alone.
I'll help you, my love. I'm meeting up with an old acquaintance of mine at a local art gallery. You might have heard of him? Jack LeBlanche, of LeBlanche Securities?
I'm not familiar with his line of work, though I suspect that he has something to do with Isa and the combination.
That's what I'm thinking as well, but I won't know more until we meet. Plus, LeBlanche's friend, Lawrence Montegre, is hosting the gallery, so it should be quite interesting.
To seek out answers which there are no questions, is a dangerous, yet courageous, path indeed. Gabrielle, aligned with her obsessed husband Dip, has now entered her name into the race to find the combination, though exactly what the combination is, only Isa knows for sure. For only Jack was lucky enough to have been confided in the generalities of the combination, as well as Isa's own fears. Does this make Jack a powerful ally? Or will it make him the weakest of points in Isa's seemingly impenetrable self-confidence? The only thing for certain is that the combination has already begun to form, whether any of us are wanting of it or not. There is no stopping the combination from completing once the first domino has been tipped. Time cannot be stopped, nor circumvented. To be continued.